Fala pessoal, aqui é Bruno Garcia para mais um vídeo do canal JTF Aulas e hoje a gente está fazendo um tour aqui na Pickett Brass, Pickett Blackburn.
Hey, appreciate you coming today, visiting our shop.
Thank you.
Everything starts as a bundle of brass here. This is about 600 pounds of mouthpiece stock that we're going to turn into a bunch of trumpet mouthpieces and trombone and backboards and all that kind of good stuff. So we get in these large chunks that makes it efficient and easy. In addition to the latest and greatest computer numerical machines that we'll see in a little bit, we also like to use a lot of old machinery. This is an old South Bend manual lathe that we use to cut custom mouthpieces and make little parts and pieces as needed. So it's a blend of new technology and old technology together to make everything that we have here. Yeah, so that big bundle of brass that you saw coming in gets broken apart and loaded into this machine here. This is a bar loader where it takes all those sticks of brass and it feeds it automatically into one of our computer numerical control machines such that it can then cut the mouthpieces. This way we're able to operate lights out and continually in order to get all the mouthpieces made in time. All right, after all those mouthpieces are made from all that brass that comes in, all of the chips get loaded into these big boxes. These boxes are about 2,000 pounds, so 1 US ton of chips, and it's all the waste that comes off of when we cut mouthpieces and a whole bunch of little chips. All of it gets recycled and turned back into those sticks of brass so that we can make more mouthpieces. After all of our mouthpieces are made on our machines, we bring them here and we put them on this shelf, which then ends up going into the buffing room. All mouthpieces are hand finished and hand buffed. It's a little noisy, but we can stick our head in here. Again, that's good. Every mouthpiece is hand buffed and hand finished such that we can then see the exact quality and make sure that it's what we want to send out. Nothing goes out without being seen by us first. After that, then it gets cleaned in a hot ultrasonic, which gets all of the buffing compound off and all the grease before being sent out for silver and gold plating. Again, all mouthpieces are inspected before they go out to make sure that if there are any defects, they don't leave this room. We go through hundreds and thousands of mouthpieces a week, and every one of them gets looked at. This machine here was one of our first numerical controlled machines. It was used to make buttons and stems and bottom caps when that was all that we made. And so we were able to make a wide variety of pieces and parts on this, and we started making mouthpieces on this machine. We no longer make mouthpieces on this, but rather we make parts for Blackburn trumpets, which we'll see next, as well as continued trim parts and pieces and parts for your horn. Here at the beginning of the week, we have cleared out our shipping and receiving area, and normally what we end up doing here is we unpack hundreds of mouthpieces on the table and we inspect them once again. As you'll notice, we've inspected multiple times. So once when the mouthpiece was made, once when it was polished, once when it was shipped to plating, and then we look at them again when we get back. These are a few trailing pieces from last week that didn't make it out, but we'll ship those out today as soon as we're done here. For inventory, when we go to trade shows, we take thousands and thousands of parts. So drawers of trumpet backbores and drawers of trumpet cups, so that we can offer as many different mouthpieces as possible when we're at an ITG or a national trumpet competition. This provides us the ability to customize and to fit people on the spot and to just bring the best that we have to you. Back at the end of last year, we were all itching to get out of the shop and to go to our first trade show in quite a while, which was the Midwest Clinic up in Chicago in December. As part of something fun, we decided to try to make a giant mouthpiece. This is 111 or 112 parts that we 3D printed over a couple of months. And it ended up in a giant, actually it's a 3C mouthpiece, believe it or not. So this weighs about 65 pounds, and it was just something fun to do. But next to it here is a machine that I was very fond of at the very beginning. This is a small CNC lathe that I started with in 2003 to make those trumpet buttons and bottom caps and stems. We ran on that for about 4 years, this little machine in the garage behind my house. Before we graduated to some of the other machines that you saw earlier. This motor here most recently ran one of our bandsaws, but prior to that, this was my grandfather's motor for an engraver that he ran. He was a jeweler and did hand engraving in early part of the 20th century. So it's just a little bit of a testament to some history to help us remember where we came from and the art and the craftsmanship of what we do.